Palmistry is one of the oldest of the occult arts. People have been fascinated with hands since time began. There are imprints of palms in the innermost parts of the Santander caves in Spain, showing how important hands were to people in Stone Age times. The most important moment in human evolution occurred when man began to stand upright. This meant that the hands, which up until then had been used as front feet, were now able to be used for other purposes. In fact, they became an extension of the human mind. More room is taken up in the brain for the different activities of our hands than for any other organ of the body. It is fascinating to watch newborn babies interact with the world using their hands. Even something as simple as touch has to be learned. The brain sends messages to the hands, instructing them to perform any number of intricate tasks. Many of these tasks have had to be learned in the first place, but become automatic as soon as they are mastered. Writing with a pen is a good example of this. The hands also send information to the brain. If you have ever touched something hot, you know exactly how quickly that information is sent to the brain. At some stage, people realized that every hand is different, and from this discovery, palmistry began. The fact that no two hands are the same must have intrigued primitive people. One explanation for this can be found in the Bible. "He sealeth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work." Job chapter 37, verse 7. Primitive man was also able to make practical use of this information. Thumbprints and fingerprints were used instead of signatures. In China, there are numerous examples of important papers that have been signed with the thumbprint of the emperor. Some 2,600 years ago, Aristotle wrote a book on palmistry for Alexander the Great, and there is nothing in that book that a modern-day palmist would dispute. Consequently, the basic principles of palmistry have been around for a long time. Palmistry has had an extremely varied history. At times it has been revered, while at other periods it was considered the work of the devil. Unfortunately, different superstitions were added to palmistry over the years, and these caused many people to discredit the subject without evaluating it further. Palmistry was first treated in a scientific manner in France during the 19th century. A man called Adolphe de Barrol investigated palmistry with the intention of disproving it. However, his research convinced him of the validity of the subject, and eventually he wrote a monumental book on palmistry.